Yeah.
Yeah.
So you told me, what do we need to do?
Can I give you his Telegram handle and you can try to corral him?
Yeah.
Let's see. Just because sometimes it's hard for me to do those things during the call. And we'll see if he shows up. Okay, cool. So let's get this party started. There's so much praise to dish. I want to praise Mitch, like just insane specs lately. The QF Twitter spec is amazing. Giveth Pro blew my mind. Just a lot of good product management work this round. I also want to praise Almond, who is really killing it on the GM podcast. It means so sweet to me, reminding me to do my job. And I really appreciate it, Almond, and you really make the GM podcast work at all. I definitely want to praise Lauren for the realization of like we can maybe reduce the comms time and get full on product. And I like this move, and I like the progress that's being made on that. So major praise to Lauren, and for of course making an incredible Twitter thread around Ramin's AI April. I loved that. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Thanks. I want to praise Ashley for this, like, let's all track our hours in Clockify so that we can figure out where contributors are putting their hours and then make better working group proposals for subbed application. This is such a great initiative, and I think brings a lot of transparency into what people are doing, and as well as like creates a good budget. And I really want to praise Mo for all of his hard work on all kinds of things, but in particular on instant boosting and the QF designs. Like, we lean so much on Mo, and he does such a great job of like balancing everybody's needs. And yeah, and I also want to praise Almond, because Almond is such a rock star. She's like DMing all these Giveth projects and like bringing them in so that we can have this Gitcoin beta Giveth project Twitter space. And I also want to praise Carlos for that being his idea. I'm sorry, I had 4 praises. I'm going to pass it to Mitch.
Okay, sure. I want to praise Carlos and Mateo for being really great teammates for AI April. Together, we built some really, really cool AI products for Giveth, so that was awesome. I want to praise Lauren for having a really great buddy call, taking critical feedback like a champ, and like building some concrete action steps like the same day, which is really cool. And I want to praise Nicola, Ashley, and Lauren for jumping in on the sub-delfication post and putting in some ideas and really helping to coordinate pushing it forward. So I appreciate that. And I will pass it on to, Monique's already muted. Let him go.
Hey, sorry, I forgot to mute myself. I want to praise all of my teammates, Churik, Amin, Mary Jeff, Adareza, Ramin, and also Carlos and Mateo for their hard work during this week. We had the OP released. And a special praise for Amin for finalizing the backend of the instance boost. And always, as always, I want to praise Lauren for being on top of everything currently we have for devs, and also for great specs from Mitch. And I pass it to Ashley.
Thanks, Monique. I want to praise Almond for creating this really awesome dashboard for our ambassador program. We've got everything all in one place, and it really brings a sense of community for our ambassadors, feeling included and being able to have all their stuff in one spot. I want to praise Mitch for taking the lead on facilitating our ETH Barcelona planning calls, making agendas, getting all the things that we need, taking everybody's suggestions and clarifying them. And I've seen some new contributors around Web3 Beach. I want to praise him for jumping in with enthusiasm, ready to take on some tasks, joining the team, and like just having a really great attitude. As well as I've been seeing Makizi join a lot of calls just to start learning and see what we're up to and seeing where he can also contribute. And so I want to praise those 2 new contributors. And I will pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Ash. I would like to praise this week to Mitch for all the things he does, like Giveth Pro, like leading the call for Ethereum Barcelona, self-verification, treasury management. It's like, and the list just goes on. Like, Mitch, you're awesome. And I want to praise also everybody who's working on Gitcoin. I know that it's like a big effort, coordination effort for like getting everything ready for Gitcoin, and I don't know a lot about it, so I'm just gonna praise everyone who's in charge of that. And lastly, I want to praise Carlitos, the new contributor. I saw him joining some calls. So yeah, praise and welcome, Carlitos. And I'll throw it over to Nicola.
Thanks, Franco. Hi, everyone. I don't know who to praise this week. I'm like, okay. I want to definitely, well, I do want to praise Carlos aka Carlito for showing up, showing initiative, bringing up ideas, and then hacking together with Almond and Ashley during the AMA and actually developing on his ideas, which is amazing co-working space already. I do want to praise also Ashley for her amazing idea of bringing Clockify, because I'm already seeing it's actually helping me to have a better overview of where exactly I spend my time and my time management. It definitely works. And then who else? Heather. I definitely want to praise Heather because you're like, speaking of the gravity, you like always help me to build on ideas, brainstorm on things. I feel like I have your support, speaking of the administration, improving things and reviews, and just, yeah, it gives me hope to have you on a team and see the things that we can build and improve on gravity. And yeah, I'll definitely come up with more in the channel, and I'll pass it to Heather.
Yay! So much praise this week. I really want to praise Yas for being so instrumental in this grant fundraising master tracking list. Like, she really held my hand through this process. I also want to praise Mitch. I haven't had too much interactions with him this week, but just seeing him everywhere in ETH Barcelona and the subdalification process and a bunch of other things that I'm probably not aware of. And I also want to praise Nico for just really like keeping me on track. He's so organized with having an agenda for our calls and having calendar invites. It's really so helpful. And I will pass it on to Kai.
Hey, GM, I want to praise Moshihab. He's working like a madman and scaling services as a one-man band. Very hard. I praise the devs for integrating another network. Thank you. Optimism. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I want to praise Amin also for he's always taking time to work with me directly if I need it. And I don't know who has to go. So I give it to maybe Nick.
Thanks, Guy. I'd like to give my praise to Breaches for coordinating the buddy calls for Griff. I appreciate you so much. I'd also like to praise Griff, Heather, Lauren, and Mitch for having their buddy calls this week. Praise to Heather for weekly catch-up calls and for making sure we get to move forward with everything in HR. Also, praise for taking a well-deserved time off. And praise to Fischel for processing payments. And passing it to Santix.
Thank you, Nico. I want to give a big, fat, awesome praise to Jake for being a daddy. I also want to give praise to Mitch for all his work and leading on the Barcelona. And I want to give praise to Monique for helping me on the GitHub for the roadmap issue that I wrote this morning. And I'll pass it to Carlos.
I'm sorry, is that Carlos or Carlitos?
Carlitos, sorry about that.
Awesome. Well, I just want to praise the whole team for being so welcoming and just receiving me with such great vibes and being open to like new ideas and just jumping on things together. So thanks so much.
Do you want to gamble and pass it to someone? Here,
Did did Giant go already?
But Giant already is deafened, so he can't hear us.
Oh, okay. Then Nick.
Oh no, Nico already went.
Oh, jeez.
I'll pass it. I know it's a tough game. I thought I'd throw it at you just to get you on your toes, but I'll pass it for you. Let's throw it to Almond.
Sure, thank you so much. I want to praise Ashley for really having the initiative to make every contributor accountable and propose Clockify to make sure that people is doing what they say that they're doing. That's great, Ash. I praise you. I want to praise everyone that joined the Youth Barcelona call for trying to really make a better conference, to try to learn from the Denver lessons. And I want to praise also everyone that joined the AMA yesterday, because we made a great hack session to invite projects for the last Gitcoin Giveth Twitter space. So praise you all. And Alligator, do you want to try to praise?
Oh, one sec. Here, Alligator, we'll come back to you after Corey. Corey, do you want a dish?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I want to praise Ahmad for a super great strategic brainstorm on growth marketing. That was really fun and like very, very motivating. Excited to do more of that with you. Want to praise Lauren for an awesome 101 this week that went super long and was like really productive and really like we shared a lot with each other. And I just think like you're awesome. So that was a great sync. And yeah, I also wanted to praise Mitch because I've been noticing that you've just been all over the place and you did a really great job cat herding the ETH Barcelona call this week. And with sub-DAOification, it just seems like a lot of cat herding. I have a lot of respect for you there. So thanks for doing that. And I'll write the rest in the channel. And we still have 1 minute. So can I pass it to somebody? Shareity?
Wait, Alligator was next.
Oh, sorry.
I'm ready. I lost my window, so sorry about that. Anyway, this is awesome. Praise for just like letting me join and come in. WGMI is a community DAO that I'm affiliated with, and we're just kind of like hopping into thriving communities and like hearing what their calls are like so we can help like other communities better them. And I got to meet Lauren at ETH Denver, and we did our Twitter spaces earlier for Getcoin Radio this week. And it just absolute great vibes from this community. So I'm super excited to kind of learn what the special sauce is here, because you guys really are like doing great work. So thanks for having me. So praise to everyone, I guess. Lauren specifically, because she's the one who I know, but like all of you for having a great community in general.
Thank you so much, Alligator. It's an honor that you would come to study our community calls. So thank you so much. And hopefully it can maintain its entertainingness after as we move on to the next step. So welcome everyone to our this community call. You just experienced Praise. So Praise is not just a really fun game that we play at the beginning of community calls. It's also how we reward contributors. But only if you write it down. So type out your praise in Discord and just like say what people are doing, /praise, and then that will actually turn into give tokens. And you can distribute give tokens to the people who you think are doing a great job. Also, it's a great way to do decentralized updates at the beginning of the calls. But in general, welcome to Community Call 161 on this auspicious May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And there's lots of interesting updates. Of course, the biggest news is Gitcoin grants. We're in 3 rounds. Make sure to get out there and donate to Gitcoin grants. Gas is horrible. So what I would suggest is just like set your carts and wait. Don't set gas price low and hope that it's going to work out, because the whole approved game, that their UI doesn't really work it very well. Just like set your carts and wait. And then, you know, when you see gas is at, you know, just keep watching the gas. And when the gas is at a decent, like, a decent pace, then like go for it. Hit them all while you can. I'm hoping that like Saturday night, Sunday morning, fingers crossed. Also, AI April is over, but there were some incredible winners. I didn't list them out here, but major shout out to Gil, who took the whole thing down. Praise to Gil, overall winner. Ramin also deserves special shout out because he won 3 awards. Only got to take down 3 awards, but there were a lot of winners, too many to name, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And we can start our actual community call. So Corey, I'm pass it to you for communications.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, so some updates from the comms working group. We have our meetings every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern or 5 p.m. Central Eastern time. And some updates from our end. I include a lot of links here. You don't have to click on all of them though, but wanted to just show that we've been producing a lot of really great threads as the Gitcoin beta round continues, to give people inspiration of where to donate in all of the different rounds. So you can access all of those threads here or just see them on Twitter. That lists out all of these like awesome projects in the open source round and the meta crisis round, community and education and ENS domains. So yeah, check it out and set up your carts and wait. Then we've also been producing lots of support materials for the outreach team to make outreach a little bit easier since we've got so much going on in this round. And otherwise, we're spreading ourselves across Twitter Spaces and emailing our donors and trying to help our Giveth projects solicit donations on Gitcoin as well. So it's all collaborative here. And otherwise, we've got this AI April promotional campaign going on. So since AI April ended and we had all these like fantastic videos, we wanted to share that with our community on Twitter as well. So yeah, praise to all the work that went into creating these threads and sharing the story. It's super cool. Go check it out and spread the word. And that might inspire others to do the same. And let's get smarter about AI. And otherwise, it's also just an FYI Mental Health Awareness Month. So we created, it's a different link. We created a campaign and put that out right here on the homepage to promote projects that are raising for mental health, different initiatives to improve mental health. So check it out, and we'll have a next campaign coming up next month. And yeah, and then finally, you were just showing that landing page. Just wanted to give a quick update that our first landing page is live for improved SEO. So this one is for a term that we found was pretty highly searched and quite relevant to what we do, Web3 crypto donation platform. So just a quick example of what we're working on behind the scenes for SEO, and going to be doing a lot more of that for other keywords. And then, yeah, finally, yeah, there we are. We want to be at the top. That's the goal. So yeah, we'll be doing more of that. And otherwise, we'll also be trying to finish this grants round as strong as possible, which ends on Tuesday. And working on growth strategy for marketing and comms so we can shift to a lot more focus on that. Lots more to come on that end. So that's it from comms. I'll pass it over to the Communitas working group.
Thanks, Corey. So we have our, I'm not sure, what are you showing? Okay, the slide. We've got our weekly AMA on Wednesdays, and we've been doing Gitcoin assistance. So next Wednesday, well, no, it will be too late. On Monday, we will have a session, I should have put that in here, where we will be doing, right after the Gitcoin Twitter space, we will be doing kind of like a walkthrough to help people who maybe need help setting up their passport or don't know how to donate on Gitcoin. So after the Twitter space, we'll have an AMA. So if any of you need help getting your passport set up or figuring out how to donate to the Gitcoin grants, join our AMA and I can help walk you through that process. But usually every Wednesday we have an AMA call. You can join to ask questions about anything going on in the Giveth community or on the platform if you need help with anything. So let's jump into updates. We've still got this ambassadors program going on. It's basically bringing people from all over the world who want to help to expand Giveth's work and mission. And we've got a small cohort of people that we started with. It's going really well. We're building it together, getting a lot of feedback. We just have built a new awesome dashboard. And there's a link here for anybody who might be interested in signing up for season 2 preemptively. We're thinking it'll probably start this summer sometime. And we are starting planning for ETH Barcelona. We had a call on Wednesday to kind of like scope out different goals and see, just like get some clarity on stuff. We will be having like a weekly planning call. So if you plan to be there, are you coming? You want to hang out with us in Barcelona? Please fill out this doodle and help us like plan some awesome stuff that we'll be doing there. As well as Communitas is participating in subdaification. We're really hitting it hard to see how we can lead the way on becoming a working group and getting our proposal out there. We had some sync around this in our community building call on Tuesday, but if you are a contributor to Communitas or you plan to be like part of our budget billing hours to Communitas working group in the future, please check out this document that I made. We'll be tracking our hours for the month of May, and that will help us to formulate a budget for our working group as well as the products that we're working on within. So that's exciting. At least I think it's exciting. And yeah, that's pretty much it for updates. We've got some really cool upcoming Give Talk Twitter spaces going on. Like I said, we've got this Gitcoin beta round one that's happening on Monday. I should put dates in here. I'm sorry, you guys. And also the People DAO one is set for, I believe, the 10th. Maybe Almond, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry. And yeah, so keep an eye out for Twitter spaces. We've got community spotlight interest. We're kind of getting low on community spotlight ideas. So if you have any ideas for great communities or projects that want to come in and present their project, please add them to the spreadsheet. There's a link up here in this little box next to the light bulb. If you have ideas for future Twitter spaces or future Giveth Essentials, there's also documents where you can add those ideas there. We've got a new session in the works for Giveth Essentials. We're going to start planning one for Gravity, just kind of like 101 about how it integrates with Giveth, what the procedures are, and just kind of like learning some cool skills for conflict resolution. And there's a link down at the bottom here where you can find all the past Giveth Essential sessions. So for any new contributors, this is like a great place to get more of an inside scope of the inner workings of different things like the Give economy, how does that work, and our governance process, different things like this. So make sure to check that out. And last but not least, we've got some Gravity stuff going on the 12th. Their monthly sync call will be on the 12th at 10 a.m. Costa Rica time. There is a forum post there that's been hanging around. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, do that. And again, if you guys are feeling any kind of like conflicts or tension in the community, or you're just kind of having some issues and you would like to express that, I think that Gravity is a great way for us to come to resolutions together, to grow as an organization. I think conflict provides us with an opportunity to explore ways that we can evolve. And so it's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're feeling any of this, please fill out this form and we can start taking some steps to figure out how to start that evolution. And if you're interested in getting more involved in becoming a Graviton or like a facilitator of this evolution, then get a hold of Nicola and she'd be happy to include you in future activities. And that's what I've got for this week. Thanks, Griff. Let's see, we're passing it on to development.
Hey, it's Monique presenting on behalf of Amin. And our weekly thing is Mondays. You can see the time, but I'm not sure the time is accurate or not after daylight saving time, but it's near this time. And first slide for updates. The backend, we have huge progress in instant boosting. Big praise to Amin. Just now, we have the PR ready. Some progress for Kubernetes stuff, still slow, but we hope that we can deliver it somehow. The big news for this week is Optimism launch. As you in the praise, I think you got the news about that. So both backend and frontend was busy with that stuff, finalizing the tokens, logos, all this stuff together. And we started architecture design with Carlos for the new projects page backend, but not coding still. For front end, we have the code swap repo fork, and good news is that the new projects page design has 30% progress. I think you know it for revamping the project experience with this name, but only for the front end, not the back end stuff. And next week you can see the plan for release plan in the next slide. If you take a look, yeah. So Stellar integration launched, PF integration launched, and OP launched. We paused the second phase of Silo for now, but we can go ahead. The give power notification is, getting blocked. I think we need to prioritize it again. But our next week focus is going to be instance boosting. Project refactoring with the front end is ongoing, and the QF is going to be our next focus. But for multi-chain give power, we did not plan yet. And you can see the roadmap and token log at the above, and that's it. And I want to pass it to Give Economy Group, Lauren.
Just love Monique's updates. It's always so clear, and we always know when the products are coming. I'm always looking at this like, oh, good, okay, I got to work on that. Thank you, Monique. Give Economy Working Group stuff. Some redundancy, but not too much. You can go to the next slide. We meet on Wednesdays. So yeah, as Monique mentioned, we're making some progress on instant boosting, just a couple of like little design tweaks, and then testing next week. Quadratic funding, we're gonna be having a call just for quadratic funding. So I'm going to put a doodle in there. I tagged all the most relevant people, but if you want to jump in and fill out that doodle too, because you're like, I really want to participate in this working group, by all means, come join us. Next is so we're adding we're adding praise to the GiveStream history table. Made lots of progress there. So major praise to Mitch and Mitch especially for doing all the cat herding and pushing it to make it happen. So now when praise gets distributed, you'll have a little like praise thing. It'll have like a nice hand folding icon. Also, as everybody was praising Mitch for Giveth Pro spec. So Mitch put together this really awesome Giveth Pro spec. Oh, I guess I linked the wrong thing. Sorry. The Giveth Pro spec, basically Giveth Pro is like project owners will be able to stake Give tokens on their projects to upgrade it. So there's going to be like a staking contract, and there's a few little details that we need to hash out. So this needs a couple of eyes from designers. It needs eyes from, smart contract development, and also just like some critical thinkers. So if you're interested in Giveth Pro, jump in there, leave some comments. Other hot topics include treasury management. There's this great post up about like how can we improve our treasury management. Right now we're like investing in some really safe DeFi strategies. And earning some yield, but we could be earning more yield. And so Mitch put a lot of thought into this forum post, so check it out. There's some polls down there that are like, what do we do with DAI? What do we do with ETH? And so have your say. And then also, as Monique mentioned, coming up soon and right on my hot topic list is getting Give Power on multiple chains. So really a lot of exciting things happening in the Give Economy Working Group. But that's it. So I'll pass it on to actually, wait, one more thing. Token log. Vote in the token log. The NFT integration that Santi's been working on, like, hey, what if projects could raise funds using NFTs? There's a new issue for it in the token log. And so the token log is a great place to have your say about like which products we should be focusing on next and really help to inform the product managers like Monique and I and Mitch about like what we should do. So please vote if you have Give tokens. Passing it on to the fundraising working group.
That's me. We have calls every Monday at 10 a.m. Costa Rica time, 5 p.m. Europe probably. Man, we really got to go through this and make sure that we have the right dates, huh? Daylight saving time zones are horrible. Anyway, fundraising updates. Big focus this week, of course, is Gitcoin. they're giving away $2 million to anybody who gets donations. It's amazing. Go get them. It's the coolest donation governance out there. That's why we got to bring it to Giveth. But like by donating to projects, you are voting effectively. But to decide where the $2 million is going, it's almost $2 million. I think it's like it's like 1.8 million. Also, we're looking at grants. We're just addicted to adding chains these days. And what better chain than the one I founded, Ether Classic, right? So that's exciting. Also, we're looking at Zcash, which is fun. Zcash would also enable us to, if we can add Zcash donations, then we could easily add Bitcoin, Cosmos, Polkadot. We could start doing other chains too, which would be really cool. And Zcash is looking, and we have a grant submitted to them now for that. ENS small grants are due today, or it's not small grants, it's actually like largish grants. And so we're pushing the ENS train. Also, Mantle is really cool. Mantle is looking for launch partners. They're an L2 like Optimism, kind of a fork from Optimism, run by BitDAO. And so we're looking, can we be fundraising partners with them and figuring out how to do that. And Golem is also an opportunity that Lauren is chasing down. There's so much, right? And we still have to manage Gitcoin. Anyway. Also, we're still trying to collect our OP money. Giveth got theirs, which was amazing. It ended up being $280,000 in DAI, which is so cool. And also Praise got theirs, but we're still looking to collect on the other groups. I think Common Stack still had to do another round of KYC, and haven't seen what's happened with the other groups, but we're chasing that down. So, winning a grant is not when the grant is over. You still gotta collect sometimes. Also, we have totally revamped our organizational strategy, and it's super cool. It's just incredibly user-friendly. So major praise to Yas and Heather for breaking this down and working with everyone to get them to use it. But we have like a master grant tracking sheet. So if you know of any opportunities, you can go to the community slides, find this link, the grant tracking master sheet, and you can just come on down here to the end. I did it today actually, and I just added like a few of these Mantle grants and Optimism, and it's really just hit that plus new and be like, yo man, like I heard this great thing that Aragon is doing, you should like totally apply. It's amazing. And then anything that gets submitted on the master sheet, also we can organize it better in each group has their own like tracking sheet where we're tracking the individual groups, and they go back and forth. It's really a magical thing. I mean, we have so many groups that are working together to raise funds, and I really love this communal approach where like if any of us win, we all win. And if we can just like get all of the Giveth Galaxy grants and every grant opportunity, we're going to bring a lot of money into our ecosystem. So it's really a great initiative. And yeah, and along those lines, in about a week or two, we are going to open it up for a few more groups to join us in the fundraising efforts. And so keep that in mind with your favorite crew. Unitap is looking to join, MetaGov wants to join, and several others. So we're going to do like fundraising as a service and work with them to fill out their grants and chase them down to get them money, and then we'll actually get a share of the funds for doing the work. So that's super cool. And yeah, and I'll leave it at that because there's a lot more updates to go. So let's just throw it over to the design working group.
Thanks. Okay, so I keep it short. We are in the design team. We are still working on the same issues that we were working last week. The gift saving is still in progress and it's moving forward with hosting. The cluster funding and Gitcoin password integration is also progressed a lot, and it's happening. It's basically me and Tosin, we are working on it simultaneously. And yeah, that's it. We also had some a small improvement to the project single page, the donation cards layout, and just try to make it a bit less busy. And I mean, still not sure, but I think it's get a lot better. Yeah, that's it. I pass it back to you, Griff.
Oh, thanks. Well, then let's throw it over to Mitch for the governance the DAO working group.
Yeah, sure. We got our governance calls weekly happening at Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central European. Jump into some updates. Listen, you guys know we got tons of DAOs. We got lots of DAO things happening. We've got our Give Aragon Reputation DAO. We've got a Give Garden. We've got a bazillion Gnosis safes and all the flipping chains you can possibly imagine. We've also got a snapshot. Some high-level updates here. Not mentioned there, but the Q1 Give distribution is done. That finished yesterday. There's a couple votes up there that are still pending. They were made before the deadline. So that's for Nico and Algene. Going back, there's some notables. Now that the distribution is done at Give, I'm going to be going through and building the vesting for Q1 2023. And so those calculations are going to be happening, and we'll probably see that sometime next week. As Griff will probably mention, sub-DAOification is lit. So check that out. There's lots of great discussion happening in there. I won't take too much time on it. Apart from that, we're looking pretty good. Nothing in the gift garden. Multi-sig snapshot. No action there. Yeah, looking pretty clear. Maybe let's check out the token log, Griff. What do we got? Wow, QF still at the top. And this heckin' Kubernetes thing. What's even a Kubernetes? I don't know. But it's there. It's in second place. So I guess we got to do it. GiveFi, Giveth Analytics dashboard, project discussions, project refactoring. Ooh, I like those APIs. That gets me going. Givebacks user flow, sure. Yeah, so that's I think that's the top things we got on the plate right now for our roadmap and our product managers. If you have no idea what you're looking at, I'm gonna just reiterate what Lauren said. Vote in this damn token log. If you've got Give tokens or wrapped Give tokens through the gardens on Gnosis chain, you can vote in here and help us prioritize the issues that we build first for the users. So yeah, there it is. That's the things in the DAO, and I'll pass it to Griff.
Thanks, Mitch. So yeah, I'm doing the governance working group. The big news is Jake had a baby. Oh, it actually happened right after last week's community call, and he will be gone as long as he wants, basically. And we family first kind of crew, so he can take as much time as he needs. Although I see him reading the chats nonstop. He's got a baby in his hand, and he's scrolling through Telegram, scrolling through Discord, making little emoji comments. So we know he's still watching, and he'll probably even watch this call for all I know. But he's gonna be gone for, who knows, maybe up to 3 months. Also, Mohammed, Fashel, and Heather are taking some time off. Corey's going halftime next week, skipping lots of calls, but we'll be around to get the work done. And I want to highlight Heather. She's gone for most of May, and she's got a lot of trail to trek. She's going to walk across Europe, so that'll be super fun. Have fun with that, Heather. Well-deserved vacation. And there were so many forum posts this week that I couldn't list them all. There's so many interesting things going on. We're done with distribution. Sub-DAOification is lit, as Mitch is saying. Comments were coming in while I was making the slide, minutes before this talk, and they're probably coming in during this call. So check out that sub-DAOification post. Token lists are getting updated for Celo and Optimism. We have a partnership brewing with Opolis. We need to get more money in that bug bounty vault. We're talking about just moving to Gateway FM for node infrastructure. Lots of cool comments about the project page. and how we're revamping the new project page. Some kind of AI token partnership that someone is asking for. Thank you. Praise to Ashley for responding. Treasury management, there's only been 3 or 4 voters. Please, we want to hear your opinions on how we should spend this money. We are a DAO, so your opinion counts. Give some signaling there. Home Office Distro also has a poll. It's kind of along the treasury management. Should we use DAI that we got from Optimism to pay everyone for for their home office allowance? And then the referrals has lots of action. Oh, okay, thanks. Turning off cameras. Referrals has lots of action, and then praise on Twitter. How cool will that be? So yeah, lots of things, like go to the forum, check it out. And also, I know there's lots of buddy calls this week and next and all month. It's kind of that time of the year or time of the quarter. So don't be shy about filling out those contributor forms. They're going to get a lot of action this week and next. So fill out as many contributor forms as you can. There's for anybody that you work with. It will have it'll make for good buddy calls. And yeah, well, actually, we have a few minutes. Does anyone want to shill someone who has a buddy call coming up that they want to that they should fill out a contributor form for? I know. I have Amin and yeah, I have a bunch. Amin, Mitch, Ashley, Breechies. I don't know, a bunch of people. Does anyone else have people that they want to shout out for filling out contributor forms?
Corey's buddy calls next week.
Who? Corey.
Feel for Mary Jeff, please.
And myself, Kotave.
I think I'm supposed to.
Oh yeah,
I think Franco and I are overdue, so that guy needs some feedback.
Nice. Feedback. This is how we get better as a team. So fill out those contributor feedback forms. Fill out your self-reviews. Let's get those buddy calls going, and let's jump into the next quarter with like all the information that we need to really kick some ass. Yeah, and with that we have Shareity coming in. It's our community spotlight today. Shareity is a super cool project. I got to meet Ben at ETH Denver, and we were chatting a lot, and it's a super cool project. Maybe Ben, if you want to like take over and tell us what the story is of Shareity.
Sorry. Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me here. I'm trying to figure out my camera's not allowing me to. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we hear you great. Yeah, we just oh, actually, now we're at 25 again.
It's blocking. I think it went into my settings, and I think that's working. Is it working? My camera?
Yeah, it's working. It was blocking because we had too many people in the call. Now someone left, and we have just enough. So yeah, you're live.
Cool. Okay, so I guess gonna run through a quick deck. I met, as Griff said, I met him at ETH Denver. I think we hit it off. Loved your presentation, on stage. So much energy and excitement, and I can kind of see how he keeps everybody here going. And so let me share my deck, and I'll run through a couple slides quickly. I have to be off like in less than 10 minutes, really, because I have a call with a big brand that I'm supposed to be on. But let me see here. Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. I'm sharing your website just for fun. Keep things entertaining.
Fun. Nice. Hang on.
Oh yeah, now it's coming up.
You see it? Yes. Something is sharing on my screen. It says it's sharing. So.
Yeah, it's not sharing. I would leave and come back.
Okay, did that go out?
And don't turn off your camera. It says this. Oh, don't turn on your camera. No, it's still not working. I would just leave the call and come back, and it'll and hopefully it'll and then share screen again.
Okay. Now, you guys see that? You guys see?
Yep, it's working.
Okay, good. Can I go full screen? Does that work?
Yep, perfect.
All right, great. Okay, so really quick, I'll kind of run through this. But so Shareity is charity. You can think of us as like TikTok meets a people-centric Web3, but for charity. And by people-centric, we mean own their data, they own their reciprocity, they own their digital assets online. So you can think of us as a platform for brands, to like amplify Web 2 that leads to a people-centric Web 3. We can be put on any chain, and we have our own patented blockchain that operates essentially all in Web 2, and and this can be put on basically any chain, like I said. So we're a platform for brands to create, monitor, and track brand-sponsored charity challenges. So what is a brand-sponsored charity challenge? It's a challenge where people do an action and brands donate because of those actions, charities and causes that they care about. Somebody had mentioned something about how we utilize like NFTs to help raise money or whatever. This could be one of those solutions. And I also love somebody else talked about like mental wellness or whatever, and we're talking about like the look at the next generation of kids that are on TikTok and all these other platforms, and the loneliness epidemic, and all the stuff going on. So I mean, we need more sharing and caring, I think, in Web3. So that's why I love what you guys are doing too. So we're a new way to raise money for charities and causes. We're a new way to tokenize and monetize social influence online for people. But most importantly, where the money comes from is we're a new way for brands to advertise that pays it forward, aligns direct to consumer, and builds community at the same time. So here's all the reasons why you'd want to use us, but it's as simple as the share care economy, right? So people do actions with their smartphones. So picture, video actions, think Instagram, TikTok, Ice Bucket Challenge. Brands donate money for every action done, $1, $5, $10. Sometimes they plant trees. The causes that find solutions, so ending cancer, homelessness, whatever it might be. So we say it's a new way that Zoomers do charity because they don't have a lot of money to give. With charity, they just have to pick up their phones. They don't have to pick up their wallets. They pick up their phones. They do a fun challenge where a brand donates for them, and then they share that to help raise more money. Share my push-up challenge, and Coca-Cola donates $5 to breast cancer. So everybody sharing the brand and getting the brand better exposure, marketing, advertising, etc. Right? So we say this is the new way that, and I haven't call starting in a little bit. Sorry. So we say this is a new way that corporations can connect with Zoomers and do good at the same time. So why would brands or causes want to do this? Because it's about purpose. If they can align with purpose with consumers, 75% will switch brands based on that alignment alone. It's about action. When people take action, it's more memorable. They feel like they're part of something, right? Hundreds of millions of people are taking action every day online anyway, right? Look at Instagram, TikTok, whatever. People are searching for likes and DMs and connection and community, right? Feel part of something. It's about scale. So creating your own first-party database of scale, right? The phone numbers. So not through social media handles, not through emails that fall on deaf ears, but now direct to consumer, where people are sharing your brand to their friends and family. So accept my push-up challenge. Coca-Cola donates $5 to breast cancer, and 83% will trust recommendations from their friends. So that peer-to-peer sharing is very coveted in the brand world. So it all comes down to better value, right? Not just like ROD. What do you get for your return on donation? Coca-Cola donates $1 million to St. Jude every year. What do they get? Banner at the finish line, some mentions on social media. Charity, they get 1 million people smiling, right? Sharing that goodwill all over the world with Coca-Cola all over it. And then Coca-Cola gets direct relationships with those people. So what we're doing actually, and this is kind of the big thing, right, is we're taking marketing dollars that, trillions of dollars a year in marketing dollars, funneling them at the will of people to causes around the world. So when people take action, brands take action. And all this money we can look at as saying onboarding people, brands, and causes to Web3, the masses of people, not the people that are already here and they're on this L1 and they're doing different exchange, whatever, not the Web3 community, but everybody else that's out there, right? It's a very simple, easy way to do it. So we're changing the whole brand consumer dynamic, where instead of the brand knocking on the door saying, buy my product, let me in. Oh, I saw you were buying, a new pair of glasses online, through third-party cookies or whatever. Here's 50% off. Well, I say delete. You didn't earn the right to talk to me. You got to earn the right to talk to me. With Shareity, brand sits on the couch and says, how can we cure cancer together? And by the way, you're thirsty. Would you like something to drink? So it's a whole new way that brands stop selling and start serving, turning any advertisement, any social post, any product launch, any concert or event into a purpose-driven experience where people participate right with their phones. So it's QR codes, text codes, it's clickable links on social. There's no app to download, very simple and easy. And people don't even know they're in Web3 when they're doing it. Brands don't even know they're in Web3. They're just getting better advertisement. So for users, really simple. It's snap, array, share. They snap a picture video doing the challenge. They see the brand donate money because of them, and then they share it with their friends and family. So you can see here, it's just QR codes, text codes. It's a patented process that we have that goes through this. It's the same process for every challenge. So the only thing that changes is the image in the background, right? So you see the brand donating money to whatever cause it is. Upload the picture or video, you see the brand donate money because of you. And this is what we call glad to see advertisement. Have, brand influencers in there, or it could have the cause in there, or planting trees around the world, whatever it is. And then you see the person then has a chance to share it. So this whole process takes less than 20 seconds. When they share it, our patented technology tracks it all over the world. So it's essentially like, blockchain for social influence. And I'm going to kind of fly through this quickly, this demo of how everything works. But you can see Jill here is going to do the challenge. So she sees her friend do it on social media. She clicks to accept the challenge, uploads her picture, video smiling, sees the brand donate money because of her, and then she's going to share it with her friends. So when she shares it, she's going to be able to track all of her influence online everywhere in the world. She actually owns her digital presence now. And we'll get into how that works in a minute. But so here she shares it on text message with her friend. Her friend sees it, clicks on it, decides she wants to participate. If she does, then she becomes a node within that network. And this is where, our patented, blockchain technology comes in. It essentially creates, a neural node network of two-way data all over the world, validated through phone number, and then validated through streams of reciprocity. So as people, share and with other validated humans or whatever, so it becomes almost like zero knowledge proof where you don't have to keep updating it because updates on its own. But anyway, brands able to see impressions by channel, views by channel, engagement by channel, actions by channel. It's all zero-party data. So it's the first time brands can actually interact with consumers on zero-party data, which is pretty amazing, where people are sharing the brand. And this is sticky for Jill too, because Jill can do the challenge, but then she shared on Facebook and Instagram and SMS or whatever, and now all of a sudden she sees Ben did it right on Facebook, and then Ben shared with Griff on Instagram, and then Griff shared with the community and got 20 other people. So she didn't just raise $5, she raised $500. And she's able to track this all over the world. And she's able to take it offline from all these platforms anytime she wants as well too, because she owns the digital original. Now, she might get a message from the cause in there. Here's the kids we help, in Africa. And then she'll get 360 brand marketing too. So it's now reward. So, hey, get a free cup of coffee at our store or Starbucks or whatever. Or here's a $25 gift card to the top influencers. And you can see all this in the back end in the dashboard, right? So you can see top influencers, sort by influence, et cetera. And you can see real activism within the community, who's actually participating the most, getting the most people to do their challenge, et cetera. So really simply put, it's like simple as a QR code, right? So it starts there. You could literally scan this with your phones, participate in the challenge. This is a hug challenge. So one hug equals one tree. This is one of the challenges we're doing. But it's all about, GDPR compliance, zero-party data. The cost per action for brands right now is $13 to $55 if they go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. With Shareity, is 25 cents. So their onboarding process to Web3 is very simple and very cost-effective too. Instead of Web 2 companies monetizing your data, Facebook, by the way, thanks for doing that, Facebook, it's direct to people. It's people-centric data, right? And then it's tracked all over the world. We still use these channels as the highway, right? But now people own their data. Instead of corporate governance and oversight, we don't have to deal with that. It's the share care economy. Everybody wins, people, brands, and causes. A little bit about how our patented technology works, but, it's kind of like that neural network of, interactions. And we have, US patents actually, and some people in Web3 are like, why do you have patents on this? Well, it's so that Google doesn't do it, right? It's so that Facebook doesn't do it. And we have pretty strong patents, on trackability of the network effect. We're the only ones that can do it in reciprocity online, and it's all because it's power for the people. People own individually their own social influence and their own reciprocity pools, and being able to allocate that to digital images. So we're the first platform that can actually allocate human intrinsic value to digital assets. So let me give you an example really quick, but say this is the Mona Lisa, as like we call a new standard for NFT, which is TST. And everybody knows like NFT could be just like a JPEG file uploaded through a smart contract on a blockchain, right? And what do you get with that? Well, it might be this image, right? And I might be using that image for my profile picture. And you say, well, you got to take it down because I own the NFT of that. And I'll say, nope, that's a copyright issue because it's analog. It's how I look at it, right? Now, with Shareity, no, well, and you might say, well, I own the code to this. It's the code that pulls up that JPEG file or something. You say, well, you don't really. It's it's a point in time in the ledger, whatever. You can argue over that. But the point is, even if you own the code to it, and say, fine, I'll change one of these little blue specks of the 5 million bytes that make up this code to like a little darker blue. You won't even notice the difference, and I can still use the image because you can't use it, right? So at Shareity, you actually own the digital originals. So imagine this is the Mona Lisa, and these are contributors or validators within this social graph network. So all these validators are validated through phone number, through their streams of reciprocity, et cetera. So I can fractionalize the artwork so they can hang it up in their living rooms. They can use it as profile pictures wherever they want to do. I can actually lease it to these people as well too. And if I don't want like Harry over here to have it, I can take it from him because I own that digital original, right? So
Ben, we only have like a minute and a half left, and I know you want to talk like a potential partnership or something.
Yeah. So essentially, we are working with the biggest brands in the world. So we have some of the we're on the phone with Wonderman Thompson just yesterday, Publicis, CAA, and on the brand side, we're starting to get a lot of traction. And but what we're looking at is some kind of partnership with you guys where there's a personal donation aspect to it. So people might so brands might start off campaigns and say, hey, we're going to donate the first $1 million or whatever. Now, from that point of view too, we can actually force the brands to say, hey, you need to have a Giveth account too set up, right? So that's one way we can do it. Another way we can do it is through personal donations. So the payment processor and all that information goes through you guys with Giveth coin or whatever, however you want to work that out. So the example would be, we get the people doing the challenges. Now they want to donate their own money to keep the challenge going. And, they can donate $5, $10, $20. So the reason why they want to do it is because they've already been involved in a fun challenge. Now that challenge, builds community and people around it, and they want to keep that going because they already feel like they're part of something. They got some value out of it, and now they have the chance to give more, right? So we like to open up channels and, and talk to you guys about, and get some creative ideas going around how we could potentially, work together and kill it in the giving world.
Nice. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah, and it's just in time.
Yeah, exactly. Just in time, but we're out of time. But hopefully, we can engage somewhere. How do we get in touch with you if we have some ideas that we want to crunch on?
I don't know why it's asking me these things on this. Okay. Yeah, so you can find me at Benny Crypto on Telegram, or you can shoot me an email at ben@shareity.com. Obviously, you can go through Griff. Griff has my contact info too. So but maybe we could set up another call and we can get some creative ideas going on how we could potentially work together. Because I love what you guys are doing here. I only had a time to listen to a few minutes of your conversation. I love the praise network thing. There needs to be more of this. There needs to be more reciprocity. There needs to be more people sharing and caring, holding the doors for people in society. Like, we need to make giving cool. That's our mission, to make giving cool. And you guys are starting it. We're starting it, and we align so much on that vision. There's got to be a way to activate everybody. So that's our mission.
Thanks a lot, Ben. It was really great. And thank you all for coming to our 161st community call.